Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're doing another reading vlog. I wanted to theme this reading vlog a little bit to celebrate the start of college football season. So I wanted to do a week reading just sports romances. I already have the books picked out that we're gonna read this week. The first book we're starting off with is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I managed to get this as an audiobook from my library using the Libby app, which is actually perfect because my introverted self has had a very overstimulating week. So I'm looking forward to just listening to my audiobook, doing some chores around the house, and then I even have a puzzle to do. Some background with me and Sarah Adams' books. So far her books have just been kind of average for me. I've read When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. When in Rome I thought was cute. Practice Makes Perfect I liked a little bit less. We'll see what I feel like with this one. So far, her books are just a little bit too childish for me, even though they are adult romances. For The Cheat Sheet, it is a football romance. I believe the story is a friends to lovers, and our female main character is hopelessly in love with her male best friend, and he's a quarterback on an NFL team. Excited to see how it goes. Luckily, even if this one isn't a total hit for me, it's really short. It's only a 9-hour book on audiobook, so I'll definitely be able to finish it today, which is perfect, and then we can go into our next book tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start reading The Cheat Sheet. Time for a little halfway check-in. Just hit 51%, chapter 16. I'm really glad this is an audiobook because I feel like the story would drag on so much if I was actually reading it. My initial understanding of the plot was pretty correct in that they've been best friends since high school. They actually both have secret feelings towards one another but refuse to act on it. Something arises and they enter into a fake dating relationship, and the only conflict so far is that they both like each other but they're too scared to say anything to ruin their friendship. But they want more, but they're too scared to say anything. All of their friends and family tell them, hey, I think the other person likes you, why don't you just go for it? They refuse to go for it and communicate. And it's just like the exact same conversations happening of I want her, but I'm not gonna say anything. Or I want him, but I'm not gonna say anything. And I'm like, how is there supposed to be 49% more of this book when that is basically our only conflict, that you guys are so perfect for each other in every way, but you both refuse to say anything about it? Like, it's just such a minuscule conflict, especially to base an entire book around. I understand it being a subplot, potentially, but like there has to be more going on in this story. The only thing a little bit dynamic about Bree's character is that she also owns a ballet studio and she might want to apply for this free studio space, but she's too scared to do it. So far, this book isn't going great. I wish I had some better news to share, but right now it feels like I'm just trying to get through this book, in all honesty. Luckily, with the audiobook adjusting for 2 times speed, I only have just over 2 hours left, so I will check in with you guys at the end of the night to let you know my final thoughts. Alright, time to debrief The Cheat Sheet. The more I think about this book, the more I don't like it. My initial rating that I gave it on Goodreads was 2.5, but then I sat and talked it through with Hunter about all the things I didn't like about the book, and I could hardly recall anything I actually did like about the book, and so I dropped the rating to 2 stars. Kind of a rough start. I love a romance. I think they're absolutely great for palate cleansers. So I can understand how not every romance needs to be an Emily Henry level of emotional depth, but there does need to be some emotional depth. And I felt like the characters in The Cheat Sheet just lacked complexity, lacked depth, lacked enough plot lines. They were just so boring, and the whole book just felt so boring. For it to qualify as a romance, they get together in the end, so I hope that's not a spoiler to anyone. But this was the first time ever where at the end of a book, them actually getting together made me dislike the book more, which I don't think I've ever said about a romance book ever. I'm always looking forward to the happily ever after. I did not like how it was done in this book at all. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 stars. The only thing good about it is that it was pretty short, and it was like 9 hours to listen to, and I was able to listen to it in a day. A little bit of a rough start, but let's move on into our next book. Our next book is going to be Mile High by Liz Tomforde. This is a hockey romance where again we get dual perspective. We follow Xanders, who is this bad boy player, NHL player. And then our female main character, Stevie, is his new flight attendant on the team plane. So they're stuck together this whole season. Anytime there's an away game, they're stuck on the same plane together. I've listened to a few chapters and I'm a little bit nervous because like bad boys, moody, grumpy guy characters are just not my thing. I love whenever the guy falls first. I love the reverse grumpy sunshine where the guy is the one who's sunshine, or like that golden retriever type energy. I love that dynamic. I find that much more swoon-worthy rather than a guy who's just a dick to everyone, because in those situations I find it very hard to want him. Like, why would I want some rude guy? Like, that's never who I would go for in real life. So far he's not my favorite male character. I don't think he's going to be added to the book boyfriend list. And I know that this book is just about everyone's least favorite in the series. I'm reading it, however, because the next book, whose male main character is Ryan Shea, everyone is obsessed with Ryan Shea. So I didn't want to go into a series skipping the first book because I ideally will read all of these books within the Windy City series. I'm just trying to get through this one. Maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe he'll give me something to root for. Maybe we'll have a big personality shift. But so far, I don't know. He's okay. Not only is Mile High on Kindle Unlimited, but I also got the audiobook from my library. So I am about to get my nails done because they are atrocious. They are in desperate need of getting redone. And then I'll probably go to the gym afterwards. And ideally, I'll listen to the audiobook throughout that whole time. So hopefully in our next check-in, I'll be about 50% of the way through. We can see my midway thoughts. So I'll catch you guys later. Wanted to do a quick check-in because I've made it 34% through Mile High. Holy hell, this book is long. I still have 11 hours left of the audiobook, which means I still have about 5 hours left of reading. I don't know what the author plans to do with the next 2/3 of the book. I feel like our characters have already done a lot. We've gotten a lot of background into them, their own personal insecurities, family issues, and some tough family dynamics that they both have. We've had a lot of tension and banter mixed between them. We've already had some spice that was pretty spicy. I am confused how we're going to spend this much left of the book working through any issues. The biggest issue they have is it's kind of a forbidden romance because since Stevie is a flight attendant, she's forbidden for fraternizing with one of the players or one of the coaches. So they're kind of keeping their budding romance under lock and key, even though a few people already know about it. But I don't know how that would be 11 hours left of a book to work through. So yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Again, like I mentioned, this book is spicy. I'm projecting it's going to be either 3 or 4 chili peppers, so this is not for the faint of heart. Also, I don't dislike our male main character as much as I thought I would. I thought he was going to be worse than he is, but he is definitely a very physical-based guy and pretty much talks about women as if they're objects. So we're hoping for some emotional growth. One thing that I don't know if it's a trigger warning, but I would let people know going into this, which I wasn't aware of. I'm not sure if Stevie is plus size or what size she is because she just mentioned that she's not a size 2, but she talks a lot about her body and her negative body image, and she has a lot of negative self self-talk around her body. Now, the male main character does not add to that. He very much like worships her body and likes her body for the way it is. But if you have a difficult relationship with your body, some of the things she said might be triggering because she's talking about it a lot. So just wanted to get that warning out there for anyone who was interested in picking this up. That is a heavily discussed topic. Thus far, I've just been listening to this book as an audiobook, but I'm going to go ahead and pick this up and read on my Kindle. One thing I wanted to take you guys through is I've had this Kindle case coming up on 3 years, I think, and it's just time for a switch. So I ordered a couple fun things, a new case, a pop socket, some stickers, and I want to go ahead and decorate this, and I'll show you guys how I end up decorating it. Okay, so here are the supplies. Let me first make sure that this case actually fits, or else this would be a real bummer. Perfect fit. Okay, now let's choose our stickers. I believe I got a 100 pack of just bookish stickers, and then I got a 50 pack of ACOTAR stickers. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to use anywhere close to that amount of stickers, but I just wanted to have options. And then I went ahead and got this pop socket. I'm just gonna separate these between ones I like and then ones I don't, and we'll try to work from there. I think a lot of us can relate to this as well. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of good ones, but I just don't have the space to fit these. So these are my absolute favorites. As you can tell, there's way too many. So let's try and go through these. I think this is as good as we're gonna get. I got little double-sided sticky tape things to try and help stick these down. Here's the finished Kindle. In my Kindle era, cute little flowers, to the stars who listen and the dreams that answered. Literally one of my favorite quotes ever. Enemies to lovers, bookish baddie. Two of my friends will really get the hidden meaning behind this one. Hello, favorite darling, another fave quote. Cute little book with wildflowers, the reader tarot card, a sword, and this little lighted up graphic, which I feel like depicts female rage. And then I feel like this pop socket is totally giving Night Court vibes. So I am so freaking excited. Hey guys, it's the next day and we have officially finished Mile High. I do want to start off by saying that I did really enjoy the book. I decided to give it 4 stars. It could have been 4.5 to 4.75 if this book was about 100 to 150 pages shorter. The biggest downfall of this book was that it was just simply too long. We just had too many scenes. While that did make me connect to the characters and really like them, I just don't see how a hockey romance needs to be almost 480 pages. I didn't end up disliking Xander's the guy as much as everyone else detested him. It really wasn't that bad at all. I mean, he's a player. That much is evident from the back of the book. You know that's what you're entering into. That is simply his personality. But he never is gross with our female main character and talks down to her or makes her feel less than. Literally, his whole purpose in the story is hyping her up, helping her regain her confidence, and just letting her know how beautiful and wanted she is all the time. If you were on the fence about reading this book, I would say read it. However, I'll be totally honest in that the last 100 pages I just simply skimmed. We were just going into too much detail about certain conversations and reliving things a bit too much. But other than that, I really did enjoy both of our main characters. And that will bring us into our next book. Continuing right along with that series from Mile High into book 2, The Right Move, we follow Stevie's brother named Ryan Shea, and one of her flight attendant co-workers we follow, Indy, who In book 1, we get introduced to ends up breaking up with her boyfriend and ends up moving into Stevie and Ryan's apartment. Ryan is an NBA player. He honestly kind of gives me like Kobe Bryant vibes from literally the very, very minimal amount that I know about him. But he's very disciplined, very focused on basketball. He's like the hardest working person on the team. And to me, that just gives totally Kobe Bryant vibes. So I'm very excited to see him in a romantic relationship because throughout book 1, he just like never dates anyone. And I've heard that Ryan Shea is just the gold standard. So I'm excited to see how that continues into book 2 and to read Ryan and Indy's story. One thing that I also thought would be fun to do in celebration of college football season is I'm going to make my dad's Rotel queso dip. This is something that I grew up with. It's so freaking good. I found a recipe on the internet. It's nothing revolutionary by any means, but I have been craving this for about 5 days and I've been hyping it up to Hunter. So I'm gonna take you guys through it as well. Total cook time is literally 10 minutes. I have a recipe here. I'll make sure to link it below, but let's go ahead and grab our ingredients. It calls for chili pepper and cayenne. I actually don't have any cayenne, so I'm gonna sub in paprika. Cilantro is optional. I absolutely hate cilantro, so we're gonna skip that step. You'll need 16 ounces of Velveeta cheese, and then 1 can of Rotel tomatoes, water, salt, and pepper. Okay, I kind of saved this in the nick of time because I was doing dishes and then it started to burn on the bottom. So let's hope and pray this still tastes good. I would recommend some Tostino scoops if you want to make this. Let's take our first bite. Okay. I'm actually surprised it's not spicier. I feel like instead of a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika and chili powder, I could do more. Hey babe, do you want to try this?
Whipped up too? How is it?
It's hot. Just took it off.
Yeah, it does look pretty warm. That's really good.
Okay.
Wow. That's really good.
Okay, well I can make it anytime. It's super easy.
Love
and
it.
since I only used half of the Velveeta.
Make another one.
Success. Next day, a very au naturel update, but I just needed to share my thoughts on the right move. I just got to 40%. The kitchen scene where he needs to get his silverware, that just happened, and yeah, I can tell why everyone is obsessed with Ryan Shea. I definitely like him more than our last male main character, but I would still give Mile High a 4 stars. I still, looking back, did enjoy that book. Now that I know more about the story, not only is Indy living with him, they are also fake dating. I wasn't aware of that part of the story where they were fake dating, but that has led to some interesting situations. I will say fake dating isn't like my fave, just because I feel like it leads to the same conversations in characters' heads every single time. Oh, I'm getting the lines confused. I know this is fake, but it feels real. I feel like every single fake dating situation, we have the same conversations, and we're already kind of seeing that in this book. I will say even at 40%, they are like mega into each other, and for 2 people with trust issues, for them only knowing each other like 3 weeks, they have a lot of trust and they are very into each other. I feel like even on like her 3rd day of living there, there were already comments made about how into the other person they were, which I felt like was a bit extreme. Again, given their history, it just seems a little bit out of place. So that's my main critique thus far in the story, is their infatuation with each other feels a little bit fast. I didn't feel that way at all about Xander's and Stevie in the last book, because I felt like it was months and months and months before they actually got together. This is like 3 weeks in and they're already almost banging. So I don't know. I'm not loving that. I wish it moved a little bit slower, but I guess we'll see for when they actually do get together, how quickly that happens. But thus far, I am very much enjoying this story. I feel like right now it's about a 4.5, so we'll see. I just wanted to update you guys before I got too far along. But that is my little 40% update. I will see you guys whenever I finish this book. Final update, because I just finished The Right Move. I feel like I have the world's most unpopular opinion here, and that I think I liked Mile High more than The Right Move. The relationship, I couldn't get behind as much within The Right Move as I could in Mile High. One thing that I think was a big difference for me is, even though in Mile High they got together fairly quickly in terms of percentage of the book, in the time frame it was actually months. And when they actually officially got together as a couple, it had been, I would say, a normal, healthy amount of time. In The Right Move, it was so confusing to me how these characters had overwhelming amounts of distrust within relationships and so much baggage to work through. And yet they were in love with each other within 3 weeks of her moving in. The time frames just didn't make sense to me. And towards the end of the book, some things come to life about a few things that Ryan did. And I was just like, you did that within a month of knowing her, even though you haven't trusted someone in years, you haven't dated in 4 years. Like, I don't get it. I don't buy it. And I didn't totally love Indy's character. It felt like Indy cried in literally every scene. It just felt like the author just didn't have anything else to say or didn't know how else to add complexity to her character. So I think I settled on 3.5 stars for The Right Move, which is crazy. This is not how I expected this reading vlog to go. I honestly thought that The Right Move was going to be 5 stars and definitely was going to be rated higher than Mile High. But hey, I guess that's why you have to read books for yourself. You never know what's going to be the one that makes an impact and what's going to be a miss for you. There's been quite a few books recently that are completely hyped up on Book Talk, BookTube, that I just absolutely don't understand and can't get behind. So it's a little bit weird to have such an unpopular opinion, but I gotta be authentic to myself. And I just did not like the relationship within The Right Move as much as I like the relationship within Mile High. The good news is this series doesn't end here. There are already 2 other books that are out, and then there is a 5th book coming, which is Rio's book, which now I understand why everyone has been so excited for Rio's book, because he's popped up in both books and he's just like the most lovable, funny character. He gives total golden retriever energy, which makes me excited, because give me a golden retriever any day of the week, I will happily take it. So I'm so excited for his book to come out, and I will definitely be reading the next 2 in the series. But that is it for me this evening. Quick roundup of our books. We have The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, 2 stars. We have Mile High by Liz Tomforde, 4 stars. And then we have The Right Move by Liz Tomforde at 3.5 stars. Let me know if you have any other reading vlog requests. I am so happy to take suggestions. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff you guys know how to do. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.